Puberty. It is one of the most interesting yet bizarre, strange, phenomenal things that we can do as individuals growing up to becoming a child through developing to a grown-up within the span of a couple of years. Now, it normally starts for girls around the age of 8, 10, 11. I actually, matter of fact, had a girl in my class who was 10 or 11 at the time who was starting to go through puberty, and I hadn't gone through puberty yet at that time, even though I was 12. My puberty only really started during 7th grade, believe it or not, which is, I guess, a little bit late, some of you may say, I don't know, but let's talk about it. Now, I'm 18 at this point, right, and I'm turning 19 next week, and I'm pretty sure that my puberty, or being through puberty, is over. I'm not sure, but normally it ends at 17, 18. Some kids only start to develop puberty around 15, 16, male at least. Females, for some reason, they start sooner in general. I don't know the reason behind that. I could obviously Google that on my phone, but I like when you guys tell me and mention like, oh, this is the reason why, this and that. So my first experience with puberty was very bizarre. Now, I don't know if this is for most guys out there that I'm speaking for, but what really was the most painful experience, the most unpleasant experience for me was my balls growing. I swear to God, this might sound really strange, but the same for you as your boobs growing as a female, that hurts. Balls growing for men hurts a lot. It was one of the weirdest experiences as well, me going through puberty. That was really my beginning of puberty. But before I had that, my legs started to grow. That hurts. It's like you got cramp in your legs the whole time when it's growing. You couldn't hardly do anything, at least for me. And my feet started to grow, which didn't hurt. Kid you guys not? Swear to God, man. The balls were the most painful one. I had the first time at school. It just hurt. I went home, and it was also once at judo. I used to be at judo. My balls were growing, and it hurt a lot. You got to realize that someone is. See, the balls are very sensitive to a guy. Our area is very sensitive. Our forest has to be protected. So it's protected around and where you kick it, it hurts. You gotta look at it as, you know, from a female's perspective right now. What does it feel like? It's like someone is like doing this the whole time. It may not look painful, but our forest is so sensitive to those certain movements. It hurts. You know, I've had it often as a guy that I accidentally hit my balls against the table. Hey man, that's like walk into the table. We all know that feeling. That was one of the weirdest yet the most painful, unpleasant experiences for me as beginning phase 1. The second phase was me emotionally going through. Now, we all go through this, regardless if you agree with it or not. You can't deny this. The most interesting part about going through puberty is you really get to find out then really what you are like, who you are, what you like, your preferences in sexuality, for example. That's when you really start to find out, like, okay, I prefer this, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. You know, you really start to find yourself more. Obviously, if you're a little kid like 7 or 8, 10, it can also happen there, but you really start to explore around the time of puberty, at least for me, at least, you know. So let's just search it up, right? So for a boy, the physical changes of puberty for a boy usually starts with enlargement of the testicles. I told you, right? And sprouting of the forest, followed by growth spurt between ages 10 and 16, on average 1 to 2 years later than when girls start. His arms, legs, hands, and feet also grow faster than the rest of the body. And this is what I've said as well. What is the reason why girls in general are faster with puberty than us male? Is it because they can get pregnant? God knows why I'm asking a genuine question, right? So what does puberty mean in medical terms? The condition of being or the period of becoming first capable of reproducing, dancing marked by maturing of the organs, development of secondary dancing characteristics, and in humans and the higher primates by the first occurrence of menstruation in the female. If you're wondering why I'm saying dancing, I'm not trying to get demonetized, so that's why. So at what age puberty ends? This is, like I said, in general it ends between 16, and girls' puberty before the age of 8 is atypical. Don't know what that is. For me, at least, I'm assuming that puberty stopped for me at this age, but yeah, like I said, I don't know. It's different with every individual person, I'm assuming, and it's all. But if you've gone through puberty as a guy, you know damn fine what I'm talking about when it hurts, about the dance areas. That stuff hurts. It's very unpleasant, especially when you're going to school. You gotta look at, like I said, as someone is constantly plucking it with the finger, like tipping this. It hurts. It hurts, and it can go up for hours. I've had it for hours, and I just couldn't move because it hurts so bad. For some people, it can start earlier or later, and this is completely normal. So if you got puberty at 12, 13, don't be shy, partner. You're not left out. If that was the case, millions of other at the same time will be. It's very normal, nothing to be embarrassed about, right? It tends to last until a person is around 16. In girls, puberty before the age of 8 is ethical. I don't know what that word means at the end. It's very interesting. What is called puberty? Well, puberty is the name of the time when your body begins to develop and change as you move from kid to adult. We're talking about stuff like girls developing and boys starting to look more like men. God damn, that's stereotypical. Why can't I look like a giraffe? What is wrong with you? You think I'm a man? I'm a giraffe. I'm just kidding. Oh, damn it. Very interesting. I know this one girl in my class had once. Her name was Savannah. And oh my god, I saw you guys not, man. She was crying eventually in class because she was like going through puberty as the first one in the whole class. Most of us were boys, but we had like two girls in the class. God knows what her age was. I think she was like 11 or 12. Yeah, we had this like thing every year, right? It's called lentekriebels. It's one of the most dumbest stuff. I mean, I want to say dumbest. It is a little bit strange, but it actually isn't really dumb. So you can't really consider or call it dumb. It's actually very educational. But when you're a kid at that age, in general, you look at it like it's stupid. It's quite funny. It's hilarious. Talking about boobies, dancing, how people dance together. You look at it as lies. I'll be honest, I liked it, but I also thought it was really frustrating and stupid to hear to every time. But she eventually told in the class that she was crying. I was like, why guys? I was like, why is she crying, teacher? She said, she's on her thingamajig. Oh, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what? Okay, cool, I suppose. She was one of the first in our class, from what I can remember, that was going through puberty and going through one of these many steps of becoming an adult life. It's very interesting how our body works. I kid you guys not, man. It's very odd how we can just go from a kid to starting to develop to becoming older, and the older you get, the more responsibility you take as well. In general, I'm not saying everyone that's like 16, 17, 18 takes responsibility as they should, because I always say at a certain age you should take responsibility for your own actions. You should know what the consequences can be. You should accept them regardless of what you think of it, because at the end of the day you can't change the past, can you? This is also very interesting. The first time that I cracked a nut, I guess for my guys out there, you know what it means. I kid you guys not, man. The first time for me as well, very weird. It's very weird. I'm not sure what it is cracking a nut for a female, but at least for me, a guy back then, I swear to God, man, it was the weirdest feeling ever. Very strange. I don't know how to explain it. It was like, if I can remember, this is like 3 years ago, back when I was 14, 15, around that time. It felt really weird, because at that age also you start to test yourself out a little bit more about what you maybe feel more comfortable about doing, this and that, etc. It's very normal. You start to experiment on yourself. It's a very normal thing. If you haven't done that yet, you're missing out on some stuff, buddy. I'm just kidding. You know, if you don't personally feel comfortable about doing that to yourself, then that's totally fine. You shouldn't feel forced to do it, or it's volunteer, but it's always very healthy to experiment with yourself, I always say, because then eventually, if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, you know what you feel comfortable about and what you don't feel comfortable. But the first time I cracked a nut, I swear, man, it was weird, strange, very, very weird feeling. It wasn't nice at all. No, it was very odd. I thought it was like, oh, what is the feeling, man? It was weird because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what that feeling was. I didn't know it was, coming out. Yeah. Very strange feeling. But eventually you get used to it. Dude, crack a nut once in a while. Get used to it, man. There's nothing weird about that. These are some very interesting questions that I would love to tell you, but, ain't trying to get demonetized. trying to make a few bucks on this video as well. What age do girls' feet stop growing? In girls' feet also stop growing around age 20. They usually start puberty early, between ages 8 to 13 years old. That is scary, right? When you consider a girl can do it at around 7, 8 years, and a guy can wait till like 10, 11, 12. It's crazy. During this time, a girl's feet will rapidly grow as she goes through growth spurts. That's what I also had. Growth spurts hurts as a mofo. That's no joking around. Male or female, that hurts because, like I said, you get cramp in your leg. That stuff hurts, man. Usually the rate of foot growth decreases between ages 12 to 13.5 in females. Very interesting. I recommend you to search up puberty meaning on Google, as it is very educational. Even I have got to be very honest with that. Very educational. Someone actually commented this yesterday in the video that I should talk about puberty. So therefore I thought, hey, let's do it anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I have a new ASMR Gucci store roleplay coming out later for you guys on the ASMR channel. I posted a brand new English breakfast mukbang yesterday on Keegan Mukbangs as well. Definitely go check it out. Tomorrow on the podcast channel I got a new video for you guys. Also got a brand new American breakfast mukbang video coming out tomorrow as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the great support. Saturday a new video for you guys on the podcast and a 1 hour ASMR Saturday as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for the great recommendations down in the comments below and helping your boy out. Peace out, man.